Hello everyone, I'm Yuan Qingpeng. We are participating in this Taiwan Hackathon competition with people of three nationalities, Colombia, Nicaragua, and Taiwan, with different professions such as crop modeler, data analysis, designer, programmer, and agronomy extension worker. We have a common point that we are all office farmers. We are strongly dedicated to supporting producers, but we are doing a lot of office work. We teamed up to create a new platform called Friendly Crop Modeling. I just want to explain what is crop modeling. That is, the person can work with some parameters and formulas to predict the crop yield. And we always need the soil and climate data. Many people believe it's a difficult process. We have been thinking about how it can be done in a more intuitive way. And this platform that we are going to create should incorporate more open data source. Why? In the project that we work previously and now, we are always focused on improving the lives of small producers. They have little resource, they are more vulnerable to climate change, and the remote area, there's almost no local observatory. Inevitably, we began to work with the algorithm data offered by international meteorological agencies. It is certainly a necessity and a niche market. With friendly crop modeling, we are going to offer the simulation as estimate yields. It is compared in similar years to have recommendation on adjusting the sowing day, change of the crop, and variety. And these products are very useful for the methodology, agroclimatic technical table (MTA), that we are working with a broad alliance of international institutions. Now I'm going to call Google to present what an MTA is. Then Harrison will present which are open data that we already connect.
Hello everyone, my name is Hugo Dorado. I am data scientist at Alliance Biodiversity SIAD. I am part of the digital inclusion team. My role in this team is to use machine learning and artificial intelligence based methods to understand the factors that affect be integrated with our idea is the local technical agroclimatic committees. The local technical agroclimatic committees MPA by its acronym in Spanish, Mesas Técnicas Agroclimáticas, is an initiative with the goal of integrating stakeholders from the agricultural sector at the local level to inform smallholder farmers about the expected changes in the climate of the region, about how they can affect their crops and what they can do to reduce negative impacts. During each meeting, experts in agrometeorology shared the agroclimatic forecast made from the analysis of seasonal predictions for the region and crops models. Subsequently, the participants in the committees meet in groups and analyze how crops will be affected based on the forecast presented and their experience to make recommendations that facilitate decision making on topics. MPAs has been established in Guatemala, Honduras, Colombia, Nicaragua, Chile, Panama, El Salvador, Peru, Paraguay, and Mexico for a total of 39 MTAs in Latin America, with the participation of more than 300 institutions, benefiting more than 500,000 farmers with agroclimatic information at a local level to plant crops such as corn, rice, beans, coffee, vegetables, and livestock. We trust that our idea will facilitate to users to consult our agroclimatic information and also be part of the tools that are used to discuss in MPA. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Gerson Gonzalez. I'm in charge of the Geographical Information Systems and Software Development. We have knowledge of tools like NASA Power API. We can navigate to any point in the world to see the estimate of distribution of meteorological data in a certain period. In our case, we already made an API for obtaining data of necessary indicators for crop modeling such as solar radiation, temperature, and precipitation. At this point, we know that the NASA data doesn't have very high resolution, but it has some advantage like the servers work quickly and we don't need to convert data to other formats. In the meantime, we are working hard on satellite open data such as CHIRPS that offers much better resolution. This process is going to take longer because the processing of rasters. Open data still doesn't have the best precision, but it gives us a chance to observe the trend where there is not weather station and an opportunity to expand the impact with the spirit of hackers.
Yields of farmers. In the presentation, we are going to quickly review the process we are planning to use to generate weather forecasts. In our tool, the idea is that users will be able to identify optimal planting dates and or crops with great potential to achieve high yields. These optimal future conditions will be based on the agroclimatic forecast. Therefore, will be necessary to predict daily data for rain, solar radiation, and temperatures. To generate the agroclimatic forecast, it will be necessary to use historical climate series. The user will be able to choose between using his own information, for example, from weather station, or even using secondary datasets such as NASA Power, CHIRPS, or other external sources. The weather forecast that is represented in the graphic for the red line will be used as an input in a cropping modeling called AquaCrop. This mechanics model will provide a predict yield that is affected for distinct cropping dates or even if the farmer wants to evaluate the performance of several crops. To obtain the weather prediction, we will test two different approaches. First is based on analog patterns that use the ENSO predictions produced by several models. This information is open and we can obtain the ENSO prediction average of all models, and based on this prediction we will be able to identify the similar years using methods like near nearest neighbors. In these similar years, we can identify how was the weather daily data and obtain this weather prediction. And this will be the input that needs our model in AquaCrop to run. For this, we have developed some function in R that led us to generate this weather prediction. And here is an example that I am using a weather station in Colombia, and with this code I am able to generate the weather forecast for the coming year. And this will be the input that needs AquaCrop for obtain the predicted yield according this scenario. The second approach is based on CPT or climate predictability. This is a software package for generating a seasonal climate forecast that we would like to implement in our tool.
Hello everyone, I am Jefferson Rodriguez Espinosa. I am environmental engineer and crop modeler of the Data Science for Climate Action Group. This group is a research group part of the alliance between International Center for Tropical Agriculture and Biodiversity International. In my work, I use crop model simulation as a tool that allows me to study the different components of the crop growth system, like the plants, the soil characteristics, the weather conditions, and the management practice, and its interaction between its components. With crop models, it's possible to simulate how are the different process of the plants of the crop growth system. In the world, we have many tools that allow us to use this kind of simulation to create different scenarios in support the decision making with different farmers or other stakeholders. The crop model, the use of crop modeling require different activities. One of these is the data collection in field, data analysis of different information to estimate the crop growth parameters and create the different files for different crop models. For it is possible to make a calibration that is compared between the observed data and simulation data. It's possible to have a crop model that represent this variation between this performance of the crop in different environments. This is AquaCrop user interface. It combines the four components of the agricultural system, that is climate, crop, management, and soil, and it's possible to use different data to simulate the crop and growth development. For example, in this case, we are going to simulate a rice production in a weather and soil condition combination. It's possible to get the information about the production, biomass, and yield production. This is an interesting tool when we want to evaluate the response of one crop in one environmental condition. But for friendly crop modeling, we want to use different scenarios, weather scenarios, or different environmental conditions that allow to generate information to support the decision making for farmers. In this case, we create a prototype in GitHub that collect friendly crop modeling. I like to use R programming language because it allows me to manage different kind of files, data, and automate different types of crop growth modeling. In this case, we have here a project for a prototype for friendly crop modeling. This prototype includes a growth workflow of the requirements for crop growth model simulations. This kind of simulation are very useful to decision making because it allows to connect the weather information from the different models to the crop response. It's possible to analyze how the rice crop, how is the performance of rice crop in different scenarios, different crop systems. This kind of information is very useful when a farmer required to take decision about when to planting, how to planting, and what to planting. Well, this is my work in friendly crop modeling. Thank you very much.
To support Jefferson, the use of open data in crop modeling allows us to work anywhere in the world. In this way, we expand the impact of the project much more. We exchange ideas on this project with Taiwan National Science and Technology Center for Disaster Reduction, and we appreciate the recommendation on the use of satellite data and the validation process. Normally, for data calibration, we need real data. Through cooperators, we can access more local weather stations. For example, we already have data from several stations in Colombia and Nicaragua. Another alternative, we can work with big data analysis, comparing the different open data sources. The strength of our teams is that we work directly with Taiwan ICDF and Alliance of Biodiversity and SEAT. So we can implement the pilot project with the public sector that already have a urgent need, such as INTA of Nicaragua and DICTA of Honduras. In addition, we already have our social networks that we can further promote our tools with affiliate NGOs such as Fontagro, TISAX of CCOPS, Foundation Ecohabitat, or Zamorano University of Academic Sector. In the period of developing of our platform, we also plan to exchange ideas with TCCIP from NCDR and CIMAGRI development team from Erie. We made every effort to create a better product and reach more producers. Very rarely do we find a producer who works with weather forecasting. It is not only because of internet access or cell phone capacity, but also lack of knowledge of the channels. That's why they are working in a traditional way. Without enough support, they would never change their printing days and have more opportunity. In some training section on the agroclimatic technical table, we have talked about some phenomena such as hurricanes attack Nicaragua more when in La Niña years. In the rainy zone, it would have excess humidity and affect the harvest of the second season. But the same years of La Niña, the harvest of first and third season is improved. In dry corridor, in the years of El Niño, they might lose their entire harvest. But with the years of La Niña, the production will be great. In many experience of agricultural extension, we know that producers always like to practice part more than theory. If a technology does not increase their productivity, they will not continue to use. Returning to recommendation for small farmers like sowing date, selection of crop and variety, we have to transfer our knowledge using their language. The projection of yields always call their attention. That's why this project is 100% compatible with the strategy of policymakers.
Hola, ¿qué tal a todos? Es un placer saludarles. Mi nombre es Alberto Calero. Trabajar con el equipo de Friendly Crop Modeling ha sido una nueva experiencia en mi faceta de diseñador de interfaz de usuario. Para poder ser parte de este proyecto he necesitado aprender y comprender los métodos de modelo de cultivo y el conocimiento del cambio climático como la tabla ONI. Desarrollar la tabla ONI en nuestra plataforma ha sido un reto que he intentado plasmar de forma más interactiva a través de mis diseños, pero también cabe decir que es muy significativo para mí mostrarlo de una manera menos científica, pero sí aún más amigable a los agricultores u usuarios, como en este caso mi persona. He tratado de poner los objetivos sin mucho esfuerzo para que el usuario final solo necesite saber qué entradas de datos debe seleccionar y con este simple filtro podrá ver los datos históricos y el comportamiento climático. También necesitamos crear asistentes con diferentes idiomas para que los usuarios de diferentes nacionalidades puedan información plasmada en esta plataforma. También puedan ingresar sus datos y obtener comentarios de ella. Confío en que podamos superar los desafíos a futuros.